video, we'll look at the planting materials that will be utilized to appropriately fulfill the plantation development demand or demands. Okay, so the demand for planting materials continues to increase each year, especially now that the greening program has gained greater attention and support from the government, non-government organizations, and other groups or individuals. So these planting materials may be in the form of seeds, seedlings, cuttings, and wildlings. So seeds is the fertilized ripened ovule of a flowering plant containing an embryo and capable normally of germination to produce a new plant. So example is the mango seed. So the characteristic reproductive body of both angiosperm or the flowering plants and gymnosperm, the conifers and the cycads. So essentially, a seed consists of a miniature undeveloped plant or the embryo, which alone or in the company of stored food for its early development after germination. So a seed is surrounded by a protective layer or coat or what we call the testa. So frequently small in size and making negligible demands upon their environment. Seeds are eminently suited to perform a wide variety of functions, the relationships of which are not always obvious. So pollination and the seed habit are considered the most important factors responsible for this overwhelming evolutionary success of the flowering plants, which number more than 300,000 species. The superiority of dispersal by means of seeds over the more primitive method involving single celled or the spores lies mainly in two factors: the stored reserve of nutrient material that give the material that give the superiority of dispersal by means of seeds over the more primitive method involving single-celled spores lies mainly in two factors. So the stored reserve of nutrient material that gives the new generation an excellent growing start, and the seeds multicellular structure. So the latter factor provides ample opportunity for the development of adaptations to or adaptations for dispersal, such as plumes for wind dispersal and others. So economically, seeds are important primarily because they are the source of a variety of foods. For example, the cereal grains, the rice, the corn, and a lot more. So the seeds of beans, peanuts, soybeans, sunflowers, and etc. So other useful products provided by seeds are abundant. So the seedlings the seedlings or the nursery grown planting materials smaller than 5 centimeters in diameter develop out of a seed. So one of the example is these Nara seedlings and cuttings. So cuttings is the portion of a board or plank that is produced by reaping, cross cutting, or both, and or a plant section originating from stem, a leaf or root, and capable of developing into new plants. So example of it is these malunggay cuttings. And we also have Wildlings. Wildlings are a naturally grown seedling transplanted and used in forest planting. Okay, so let us proceed to these methods of propagation. Propagation is the natural mechanism by which plants regenerate. So it's most often by seeds produced by a plant or by plant parts or by plant parts like the veins, roots, tubers, stems, stem cuttings, and etc. Propagation is the process of creating new plants. So if you ever planted a seed or stuck a stem in water until it forms roots that you stuck in it in a pot or planted it in the garden, you have experienced propagation. So some plants are easier than others to propagate, and different methods work better with different plants. So the technique you select will depend on the type of plant that you wish to propagate, and the amount of time and effort you want to put into it. So there are two methods in plant propagation, which we will be discussing in my next video. Good night.